Apple's best laptop for the masses is hands down the MacBook Air. I've been saying this for the last few years now, and Apple has refined and improved yet again its best laptop, and even dropped the price down, making this new one start at $999. So this is the new M4 MacBook Air, and this time it actually comes in a new color. This is what Apple is calling sky blue. It's very, very subtle, but yeah, in some scenarios it's a light blue, and others, well, it just kind of looks like silver. Now, there aren't a lot of new features with this new model compared to the previous generation, and again, I've only had this laptop for a short amount of time, but if you're someone out there that wants to know whether a MacBook Air is the right laptop for them, I think I can already answer this question based on the last few generations of the MacBook Air and what we have with this new M4 model. So as I said at the beginning of this video, and what I've been saying along with many others out there since the M2 model, the MacBook Air is Apple's best laptop for most of you out there. And that absolutely holds up a few years later with this new M4 model. The performance is getting better and better with each chip, and the best parts of this machine are thankfully still remaining the best parts of the machine, meaning it's not getting any worse. You have this beautiful, super thin design, enough ports for most people with a couple of Thunderbolt 4 ports here on the left side, and then you got MagSafe for charging and a 3.5mm audio jack. That's mostly enough for people out there. And also you can expand it with docks and all of that, but you just need a couple of ports to get some things done. Now, it should probably be known out there that I am a 15-inch MacBook Air person, but I do understand that the appeal greatly lies within the 13-inch as well. There's not a huge difference between those two machines aside from obviously the size of the display. You do get a slightly larger battery, and the 15-inch base model does start and come with a 10-core CPU and a 10-core GPU. If you get the 13-inch base model, that'll give you a 10-core CPU but only an 8-core GPU, but you can configure it to be up to 10. But most of you probably don't even care about these specs. If you do care about specs at all, and this might still be a stretch, but perhaps maybe the amount of RAM, and that is, a good thing here. You get 16 gigs thanks to Apple Intelligence. You do need that on here. So you're gonna start with 16 across the board. But if you think you need any more, the good news is you can also configure it to have more. Last year it was capped at 24. This year you can go all the way up to 32. You can also max out your storage to 2 terabytes, though I think that's probably unnecessary. The sweet spot's about 1 terabyte. But if you're thinking of, again, getting that 13-inch base model, that only comes with 256, and we have this debate every year on whether that's really enough. And I personally don't think it is. I think you can fill it up a lot faster than you think you would, and so at least get 512. But again, the 1 terabyte, for those who just want to have good peace of mind that you're not going to always have to clear out some space, that should be the sweet spot. The M4 chip is the biggest new addition, and quite honestly, you probably won't even notice a major change in performance, and that's fine because performance on the M3 was already great. The M4 is also pretty fantastic. We've had it in a few other machines, and it's supposed to be much better with AI tasks and processing. If you're using Apple Intelligence or you're editing photos with apps that have machine learning tasks or AI tasks and processing in the background, it should be fast and efficient and quick with those scenarios. But if you're a student out there or someone who works in an office where a bulk of your day is spent writing up documents, emails, design work, maybe light design work, a lot of video calls, then the MacBook Air should be excellent. Speaking of video calls, there's also a new 12 megapixel center stage camera that can kind of follow you around. It can keep you in frame in case you get a little antsy at your desk. Speaking of desks, you also get Desk View, which is this wild witchcraft feature where it gives you a top-down, view of your desk, even though the camera is facing you. I don't really still know how it works, but it does a really good job. And if you need that, you have it. Anyways, as I mentioned, this MacBook Air is going to be great for that type of work. Definitely, it's a great option for browsing the web. And if you want, after you're done with work or school, you could get caught up on season 2 of Severance. Maybe you want to throw an episode of White Lotus on. You have a fairly nice display for content. It's no MacBook Pro display, but it's definitely not something to throw any shade at. It's very, very good, and it gets the job done. Now, there is no nanotexture option, which is a slight bummer to me personally, because I've really grown to like it on my MacBook Pro, and I probably will get it on any machine that's offering it, or at least laptops moving forward. It cuts out a lot of the glare and reflections, and most of you might not care, but some of you who work in an environment that's pretty reflective, you might want that, but you don't have it with the MacBook Air, unfortunately. Now, I will be doing a longer term, more proper review in the future, but as of right now, I have been using the last however many generations of MacBook Air, so I do feel comfortable in saying that I know the main aspects of this machine fairly well at this point. We got a few upgrades with performance and the camera, and I can confidently say that most people looking to buy this will not be disappointed. Now, with that said, the M3 model is a bit cheaper, starting at $799. And if you already have an M2 model or an M3, I think it goes without saying that you should stay put for a few more years. But maybe M1 users who want that new design, a bit more power, it is apparently 2 times more powerful than that M1 model, or definitely anyone else coming from Windows-related laptops. If you're migrating from one of those machines to a Mac and you're looking at a MacBook Air, you will be totally happy with your choice. In fact, I think you'll be making an excellent one. But I'd love to hear from you in the comments down below. What do you think of this new MacBook Air? Which one would you get? Or if you already ordered one, which one did you get? Let me know in the comments down below. This is Dan with MacRumors. Thanks so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you around in the next video.